Chosen one, have you ever felt as if you were in an invisible battlefield, where no one understands the war that is happening inside you? Even while praying, even while believing, it seems that the pain insists on knocking at the door. You try to be strong, but deep down you just want to understand. Why does God allow this to happen to me? It is in the difficult days that this question arises. Not when everything is going well, but when the ground disappears, the heart tightens, and the soul screams in silence. God, I am trying. Why does it still hurt so much? This is the silent prayer of those who have been chosen to carry something greater, even without understanding the reason for their scars. Being chosen does not mean having an easier life. On the contrary, many times it means having to face tougher battles, deeper pains, and silences that hurt. And it is at this point that many become discouraged, thinking that they have been forgotten. But what if this suffering were, in fact, part of a greater plan? What if this pain you feel is exactly what is shaping you? And if every loss, every tear, every dark night is a divine preparation? God does not waste pain. He transforms suffering into purpose. And the chosen ones, even without understanding everything now, are being refined to live something far beyond what they can imagine. Chosen one, you are not alone. What you are experiencing today may even seem confusing, but there is a purpose being drawn behind the scenes, a plan that will make sense later on. But to get there, you need to keep going. And this video may be exactly the strength you were asking for in prayer. Here we will speak the truth that few have the courage to say. We will expose what really happens in the lives of the chosen. Because you deserve answers, direction, and renewal. God is acting, even in silence. And what He will reveal from this pain will surprise you. If this touched your heart, do not leave without following the channel. This journey is for those who have been set apart by God. And together, we will go to the end. Because your calling is greater than your pain. Chosen one, there are moments when the soul bleeds in silence. You try to keep the faith. You continue praying. You continue believing. But it seems that the more you seek, the harder life becomes. And that's when that question arises that no one wants to ask, but that resides in every sincere heart. God, why all of this? This question comes up when the pain hits harder, when someone you love leaves, when the doctor gives bad news, when you lose something that seems certain. In those moments, the ground slips away and the mind screams, even if the mouth remains silent, and deep down, all you want is to understand. You try to be strong, you try to smile, you try to go on as if nothing is happening. But inside, something is broken. Something that no one sees, but weighs on you every day. And the hardest part is when this pain arises, even while you are trying to do everything right, everything within God's will. The truth is that the question why does not stem from weakness, but from pain. And only those who love, who believe, who have a sincere heart before God feel this pain. Doubt comes when reality wounds what you believed. And that's when many feel lost, even amidst faith. Those who are chosen face different battles. The pressure is greater, the process is deeper, and God's silence seems longer. But it's not because you are distant. It's quite the opposite. God deals intensely with those He has called for a purpose. And this treatment doesn't always start with answers. Many times it begins with silence and confusion. You might even think you are being punished, but you are not. You are being shaped. God is not hiding from you. He is training you. He is teaching your heart to trust, even when everything seems meaningless. He wants you to learn to walk by faith, not by explanations. Do not blame yourself for asking questions. God does not reject those who sincerely question. He is not offended by your pain. He draws closer. He cares about every tear you shed. And even if you cannot see it yet, He is by your side, holding your hand amidst this confusion. The question that screams inside you may seem weak, but in reality, it is a sign of life, a sign of faith. Because only those who still believe there is someone listening ask. Only those who still hope for an answer cry out. And this shows that, even in pain, your heart remains standing before God. You are not alone in this question. Others have gone through this. Men and women of faith, prophets, apostles, even Jesus himself, all at some point have questioned. All have felt this pain, and all were answered, not with human words, but with experiences that mark their lives forever. Chosen one, if today you find yourself in this place of uncertainty, where everything seems difficult and meaningless, do not give up. Keep going, because this question will not be eternal. God will transform this silent cry into a living answer. He will make this pain a testimony, and all of this will one day be part of your story of overcoming. Chosen one of the hardest pains to bear is to pray with faith, with tears in your eyes, and not hear anything. No answer, no sign, just silence. And that's when many people start to wonder, has God forgotten me? Has He abandoned me? But the truth is that He has never left. God is a father, and fathers do not always respond immediately to everything. There are silences that teach more than words. In the silence, He observes your heart, your faith, your willingness to continue trusting even when everything seems stagnant. God's silence is not rejection, it is construction. It is like the time between the seed and the fruit. You are asking for explanations, but God is building experience. He is training your heart to see beyond the now, because those who are chosen need to trust not only in what they see, but in what they believe. And this requires silence, a silence that refines, strengthens, and deepens your intimacy with heaven. Remember Jesus in Gethsemane? He prayed with anguish. He asked the Father to take the cup away, but there was no immediate answer. Even so, He said, "Your will be done." This moment is proof that even the Son faced silence. And it was in that silence that humanity's greatest mission was fulfilled. There are silences that are not absence, but preparation. They are moments when God is making adjustments in the invisible. He is placing people, moving circumstances, removing what hinders. And while you think you are standing still, heaven is organizing itself to deliver something better than you asked for. We think that faith is receiving a quick answer, but true faith is continuing to walk even when you hear nothing. It is believing that God is still good, even when life is hard. It is getting out of bed, kneeling down and saying, "I still trust," even without understanding anything. God's silence is not the end of the conversation. It is the beginning of a new level. It is during this time that you learn to hear God in different ways. Sometimes He speaks in the wind, in a hymn, in a memory, in a verse. He even speaks in a racing heart when everything seems too calm. There are pains that you can only overcome when you understand that silence is also care. When you realize that the Father is close, even when silent. He has not disappeared. He is just waiting for the right moment to act. And when that moment comes, it will be so much greater than you expected that everything will make sense. Chosen one, if today you feel that God is silent, take a deep breath. He is closer than ever. Do not stop seeking. Do not stop praying. This time will pass, and you will come out of it stronger, more mature, and with a faith that no one will be able to shake. Trust the process. This silence is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is God teaching you to trust even without an answer. And those who learn to trust in silence are ready to receive greater promises. Keep standing firm, even without understanding everything now, because heaven is working for you. And when God speaks, it will be impossible to ignore. Chosen one, pain seems eternal when we are living in it. Days drag on, nights seem longer, and the heart lives in a time that doesn't match the clock. The feeling is that God is late or that He has forgotten. But what hurts most of the time is not God's timing, it's ours. We are trapped in the now. We think in days, weeks, months, but God works with eternity. What seems like a delay today will make total sense tomorrow. What seems like injustice today will one day be a testimony. The problem is that we want to understand everything in the present time, when God is writing a story that goes far beyond our vision. It is difficult to accept that the process is necessary. We want quick answers, doors opened immediately, healing without process, blessing without preparation. But God does not work in a hurry. He works with purpose. And everything He allows in the life of a chosen one makes sense. Even the most confusing pain is shaping something eternal inside of you. Have you seen how the potter shapes the clay? He presses, spins, squeezes, corrects. The vase does not understand what is happening, but the potter sees the result. This is how you are in the hands of God. Sometimes, everything seems out of control, but He is in command, and at the right time, the purpose will appear clearly. Our hearts want everything done yesterday, but God wants us to grow. He wants faith to mature. He wants trust to strengthen. That's why He does not reveal everything at once. He gives you just enough to keep going, but not enough to control everything. Because those who see the whole do not learn to depend. And God wants relationship, not control. Chosen one, perhaps you are asking, why is this taking so long? The answer may not come now, but what God is building is greater than your hurry. While you wait, He is aligning scenarios, people, environments. What seems like a pause is preparation, and God does not delay. He acts when everything is ready. Sometimes, suffering makes you think you are being left aside, but you are not. You are being prepared for a time that is yet to come. And when it arrives, you will look back and realize, it wasn't punishment, it was care. God's timing doesn't delay, it only matures, and that transforms everything. Don't limit your life to the now. God sees you in the eternal. And everything He does focuses on eternity, not just on the present. What you suffer today may be the foundation of what you will live tomorrow. Trust, even without understanding. Because God's vision never fails. God's timing is perfect, even when our hearts don't comprehend. Chosen one, nothing in your life happens by chance. Not even the pain. What seems like injustice, abandonment, or punishment can actually be part of a much bigger plan. God does not waste suffering. Every tear that falls has a destiny. Every loss has a purpose, and every process, no matter how painful it is, has a hidden purpose. Sometimes what seems like a defeat is just preparation for a great victory. Remember Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, imprisoned unjustly. Everything seemed to go wrong. But that was exactly what was leading him to the place God had already prepared. The palace. The process hurts, but it builds the path. God knows the end from the beginning. While you are in the middle of the confusion, He has already seen what comes next. Suffering is not the end of the line. It is a stepping stone, and every step requires effort, strength, and endurance. You are climbing, even without realizing it. Because those who are chosen never stay where they started. There are pains that are not punishment. They are construction. God is preparing you to bear the weight of the promise. The blessing that is to come is so great, that you need to be strong enough to carry it. He is training you, not rejecting you. He is forming you from the inside before exalting you on the outside. While the world sees you falling, God sees you being refined. While many judge you for what you have lost, God is counting on you for what you will live. Because He doesn't look at appearances, He looks at the heart. And a broken heart in His hands is the raw material for miracles. You may not understand now, but soon you will look back and thank for not giving up. What seems like senseless pain today will be a testimony tomorrow. What has hurt you will heal others. What has paralyzed you will propel you. Because God's purpose always reveals itself in the end. Don't try to escape the process. God is working in the invisible, and everything He does with purpose. Your suffering is planting something that, in due time, will flourish before everyone. Trust. You are not being destroyed. You are being prepared. Chosen one, true faith does not arise on calm days. It grows on days when everything seems to go wrong. When the ground disappears, when the silence hurts, when the soul is weary, that's when faith is put to the test. And those who are chosen go through more intense trials because they carry a greater mission. The faith that has never been tested may be beautiful, but it is not strong. True faith is the one that withstands the fire, the doubts, the losses. It is the faith that rises when everything around it cries to give up. And this faith does not come from theory. It is born from pain. It is built in practice. Daniel only knew deliverance because he was thrown into the den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego only saw the fourth man in the furnace because they were thrown into the fire. Their faith did not prevent the problem, but it sustained them in the midst of it. And that is exactly what God does with those He has chosen. You do not need to understand everything. You just need to keep believing, even when tired, even when afraid, even when weak. Faith is not the absence of feeling. It is a choice. You choose to trust. You choose to continue. You choose to pray. You choose to believe that God is still in control, even when everything seems out of place. The enemy is not afraid of those who speak beautifully about faith. He fears those who continue even while bleeding, those who kneel with a broken heart, those who worship crying, those who do not depend on signs but on presence. This faith, built in the midst of the valley, becomes unshakable over time. God does not want fragile faith. He is forming something resilient inside of you. And for that, He allows tests. But pay attention. He also sustains you during the trial. The same hand that allows the struggle is the one that holds you until the end. And in the end, you emerge stronger. Every fall you have overcome. Every night you did not give up. Every prayer made in silence. All of this is building a faith that the world cannot shake. You are being strengthened. And this faith will take you where many cannot reach. You are not breaking. You are being forged. Your faith will be your greatest testimony. Chosen one. Not all pain comes from life. Much of it comes from people. You realize this when you begin to walk with God and suddenly looks change. Friendships cool. And even at home, opposition grows. You try to understand what is happening, but the answer is simple. Your light is disturbing the darkness around you. You haven't done anything against anyone. You've just decided to walk in truth. And this choice, incredibly, irritates many people. Your stance annoys those who live for appearances. Your faith bothers those who feed on doubt. Your light disturbs those who are complacent in darkness. And because of this, you end up being the target of envy. Envy is silent, but destructive. It does not come with signs or shouts. It comes in skewed looks, in poisonous words disguised as advice, in unexplained distancing. Many times, it comes from those you trusted the most. But understand, envy has nothing to do with what you have, but rather with what you carry inside. Your light reveals what others try to hide. Your presence confronts dormant realities, and not everyone is ready for this. The chosen one will often be persecuted not for what they have done, but for what they represent. You represent change, truth, intensity, presence, and this shakes the false foundations of many around you. Remember Joseph? His brothers hated him because of a dream. David was rejected by Saul because of the anointing he carried. Jesus was crucified because of the light he emitted. If it was this way for them, why would it be different for you? Envy is a sign that there is something precious inside you. The pain of rejection hurts more when it comes from close by. But it also teaches. It teaches you to depend more on God, to be quieter, to observe better. What seems unjust today will tomorrow be the proof that God has been with you all along. Envy only tries to extinguish those who have light. And you, chosen one, shine. Continue serving, even when rejected. Continue loving, even when criticized. Continue standing firm, even when misinterpreted. God sees everything, and He delights in honoring those who silently endure what they could easily react to. Your light is strong because it comes from heaven, and no one can extinguish what God has decided to ignite. But what comes from Him, no one can interrupt. You will advance, grow, and shine, not to be seen but to glorify the one who chose you. Those who envy you today will witness your victory tomorrow. Your pain will not be in vain. Envy only confirms that you carry something the world cannot explain. Remain light. Chosen one, the suffering you face today is not in vain. It may seem that the pain has come to break you, but it came to transform you. God does not waste tears, does not ignore silence, and does not despise a wounded heart. Every difficult moment you are experiencing now is being used to build something greater and eternal. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The pain that exhausts you today will be exactly the strength that will sustain what God is about to place in your hands. It is in the valley that the chosen ones are forged, treated, and aligned. It is not rejection, it is construction. It is a process. It is proof that you have a purpose. Faithfulness in the midst of pain is one of the most precious things before God. While many can only worship when everything is well, the chosen one worships even while crying. Even when tired, they do not leave the altar. Even without answers, they continue. And it is precisely this kind of faith that moves heaven to act. How many times have you thought about stopping? How many times have you lay in silence and thought you couldn't bear another day? And even so, you got up. This is not weakness. This is strength. This is grace. It is God sustaining you without you realizing it. He did not deliver you from the pain, but is shaping you within it. God sees your faithfulness in secret. He knows every thought, every tear, every attempt to continue when everything around you said to give up. What you are living today is being recorded in heaven, and at the right time, this story will become a testimony. What hurts you today will strengthen others through your life tomorrow. The harvest always comes for those who plant with tears, but it does not stop in the middle of the process. The enemy knows this, which is why he tries to wear you out. He wants you to think that all of this is in vain, but God guarantees no tear is wasted. What is pain today will be honor tomorrow. He fulfills what He promises. What you call a difficult phase, God calls a seed. Every tear has an address in heaven. Every humiliation has a date and time to be turned into honor. And every struggle you have faced will serve as a platform for you to rise to another level. Your endurance today is the stage for your future victory. Do not compare yourself to others. The process of the chosen one is different. While many live on the surface, You are being excavated from within. You are being prepared to bear the weight of glory. You are being treated in areas that others do not even perceive. And this hurts. But it is this treatment that makes you capable of going further. You are not stagnant. You are being aligned. Even when everything seems confusing, heaven continues to operate. When you do not see anything changing outside, it is because God is working on the inside. And when He finishes on the inside, He begins to release on the outside. The promise is alive. The harvest is coming. Keep watering with faithfulness, even when tired. Chosen one, do not give up. What God has for you is greater than the pain you feel now. Do not let suffering convince you to stop. It did not come to bring you down, but to push you, to awaken you. You are not being destroyed. You are being refined. The pain of today is the answer of tomorrow. With time, everything will make sense. You will understand that God has not abandoned you at any moment. He was just preparing you. And when victory arrives, it will be greater than you imagined. It will justify every tear and every silent prayer. You will reap with honor what you have planted in pain. If this word spoke to you, comment below. I am a seed of victory. I want to see you standing in faith. Your story will inspire other chosen ones who are also in this process.